Hey, different shooting set, I know. But I wanted to talk about a quote that I had read, or not a quote really, it was an article that I had seen one of my favorite creators talk about. And I wanted to go a little more in depth on the subject. And the subject actually has something to do with the area around me, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But the basic idea of the article was that explorers are not good leaders. So in spirit of that, why not do some exploring? I'm walking down a trail I haven't walked before. So let's talk about it. So basically the article talked about how when someone is an explorer, they go a lot off intuition, off of how they're feeling, off of what side of the bed they wake up on in the morning. But this isn't useful for people to follow. When you're following a leader, if they're changing their mind every minute, your mind is not the same as theirs. It's going to take you a couple minutes to adjust. Every time you go into a new job, you don't just pick up where you left off. No, it always takes you a couple weeks to transition in, to figure out, okay, who's the boss here? What system do we have here? What rule that we have can I actually break because nobody else follows it, but the manager told me to do so? That's going to take you a little adjusting. So how would it be vetting into a new job when your manager changes stuff every day? They say, new rule, no more of this. New rule, no more of that. And they keep changing all these rules. It would be impossible for you to adjust because you have no adjustment period. So that makes sense as to why it's harder to follow. A great quote that I mentioned was, the best leaders are the guy who's at the back of the line who can't see the guy at the front, still knows where to go. He still feels that he's trusting. While if the line keeps changing, keeps chopping and changing, he's going to have no idea where to go. He's not going to trust where he's following. But I actually do want to say something about this quote, this whole idea of explorers not being good leaders. I think explorers being leaders attract people that they want to nurture. I think, for example, if you were to open a restaurant and you were very experimental, very, very avant-garde, you try new stuff, every day was about chopping and changing, I think you'd attract people who are used to not having similar environments. I think you'd attract people who want their ideas to be heard. If the ideas are changing so often, maybe one day the way your drum is beating sounds amazing to the guy leading. Now, this can also lead to hurt when they then don't like your ideas in the future. But this would be a great way to, for example, curate a great community. You could, for example, open up a fake restaurant for a few months and then curate these people into a collective of creative thinkers, of people who are trying to innovate. What a better way to do it, because all the people who wouldn't be able to last this way, all the people who think this is no way to work, this is crazy, all of those people would just end up leaving. While you'd be able to keep all the people you actually want. So I don't know. Maybe this is me foreshadowing to me opening up a fake restaurant to get a whole bunch of like-minded individuals. Or it's a shout out to you, the person listening, because you're a like-minded individual. If you're consuming this kind of content, that means that you're interested in this kind of stuff. So stay along, and I'll see you on the other side.